guys, welcome to the event for what is coaching for the upcoming webinar that's going to be next Tuesday, July 25th at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I am outside working against the amount of daylight I have, so I'm going to make this short and sweet. All right, so let's talk about, do I have time to be a Beachbody coach? All right, so let me put this in perspective. I am now a full-time coach, right? So a lot of you may be like, oh, okay, it's easy to see how Danielle has time for this because she does this full-time. All right, let's take this about 3 years ago when I was a registered dental hygienist. I worked full-time. Some nights I didn't get home till 7:30 or 8 o'clock. Some mornings I went in as early as 6:30 a.m. And I had a 2-year-old. I was on my own health and fitness journey. I worked out. We made almost all our meals at home. Reese was in different events and things like that. And then, of course, we had a social life. So how did I make time for this, right? Okay, that was a big concern for me too. When I first got started with this and when I started thinking about what all I would love to do with health and fitness, things that entered my mind was being a fitness instructor, being a personal trainer, and even going back to school to be a nutritionist. All of that freaked me out because I was like, okay, first of all, if I was a fitness instructor or personal trainer, I'm going to be on somebody else's clock again. I was already a registered dental hygienist, clocking in, clocking out, having to be somewhere at a certain time, working on a schedule. I didn't want to work on another schedule, okay? Second of all, that being a nutritionist sounds amazing, but oh my gosh, how scary is that to go back to school, right? I wasn't ready for that. I already had a 5-year degree. I had a bachelor's degree in science dental hygiene, and I wasn't there in my life. I didn't want to go back to school, and so in my lap fell coaching. And what I learned about coaching was something that you did on your own time. And what I realized is not only was this something you did on your own time, but you did it on social media. So where are you guys at right now? You're on my back porch, on Facebook, on my phone. My kids are both in bed. My husband just walked inside, and I'm about ready to go inside too. I do my business from my own home. That's the beauty of this. And so when I first got started, when at that time I only had my daughter Reese, when Reese would go to bed, then I would hop on social media and I would do the things that I needed to do to get my business moving forward. And that's when I worked my business. Now, when I was at work, my hands were in people's mouths. Like I literally could not be on social media, be on my phone. I worked for a fast-paced office. I seen patients back to back. I rarely had any kind of blocks in my schedules. I didn't have a lunch. I barely had time to take a lunch or go use the bathroom. I was lucky if a patient canceled and I was able to sit down and catch up on my clinical notes. It was rough. I didn't have a lot of time at work. So how did I make this work, right? Well, I started slow. I would get up in the morning, and while I was eating my breakfast, I would check in with my challenge groups. When I was at work, if a patient didn't show up, or I did have a little time between patients, I would copy and paste a post that I had written the night before to post into either on social media. And with the challenge groups, I actually had to use this scheduling site, and this site would schedule the posts for me. I had no idea that was even something that was possible, but yes, there are sites out there that are free, that are an app too, and they will schedule into your groups for you, or even schedule on your social media page. So that's how I made that work. Now, where the most and the bulk of my business happened was at nighttime, after my little girl went to sleep, and when most people, like us parents, were online. Because our kids are asleep, and usually that's how we pass time at night, right? Being online, watching television, doing whatever. And so for me, what I was doing is I would take my computer in the bedroom, where my husband and I usually sat and watched television before going to bed, and I would sit and I would work my business. That's how I grew my business. I grew it from my bedroom, or sometimes from my kitchen table. And that really worked for me. That's how I grew my business. That's how I slowly over time began to cut my hours. And as I began to cut my hours, those hours that I cut, I invested back into my business. So yes, I was able to be at home with Reese more, but when she had a nap time, or when I had any kind of downtime, I would hop on social media and try to get things done. And even sometimes she would go to a mommy play date type, or not mommy play date, but what do they call that? Mommy's day out type deal. And I was able to go to the coffee shop and get a few things done. So I really utilized that time to grow my business. So as I began to do that, my business got even more successful, and it led me into being able to come home and do this full time. That was something that happened after consistently working my business, just like I explained to you guys day after day. And a year and a half later, I was able to go from a full-time registered dental hygienist down to 3 days, down to 2 days, down to full-time. Totally not expected, totally not even my goal. I actually love my profession. I love my job. I love the office I work for. Really surprised that that's what happened, but that is what happened. So if you guys are thinking, I don't have time for this, that's what everybody thinks. And I will tell you, the person that says that, or the person that is the busiest, like if you literally sat and you wrote out a list of all the things that you did that makes you super busy, and you find that that list is super long, you would probably be the best coach. And I don't know if you've ever heard the quote, if you ever wanted to get something done, you go find the busiest person. And that's because people who are busy know how to multitask. They know how to get things done. That's why they are busy. That's why they are, successful or whatever they do, because they know how to multitask. And that was my thing. Yes, I was busy, but I knew how to multitask. I knew how to plan and make things work. And so time, yes, is a factor for everybody. We all have the same amount of hours within the day, but you decide what you want to do with those hours. For me, my downtime right now may be, the old me, it would be inside in my bedroom, watching reality television or reading a book or surfing social media, and that's what I would be doing. So instead, I hop on social media, I talk about something that I really enjoy, which is health and fitness. I help and change people's lives, either by offering them the opportunity to learn how to be healthy, or offering them the opportunity to grow a business. So I really love and I enjoy what I do, and I really think that if this is something that you feel like you could be very passionate about, you will find and make the time for it.